Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Daily's 2A News. You know, I talked to a lot of people about the Second Amendment through my website, which is linked down below, my Instagram, my Facebook, here on YouTube. I mean, I get a lot of questions. It's really hard to keep up with all of them. I do my best to try and answer as many as I can, but lately a lot of the questions have been, why are they going after the Second Amendment if it's just a virus? They don't seem like they go hand in hand, so, you know, why is the Second Amendment being attacked during this time? And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. So let me go ahead and answer that question real quick, because honestly, it's a very easy answer. The reason that they're trying to infringe on our Second Amendment rights right now and our First Amendment rights has nothing to do with the virus. It has nothing to do with current events. What these current events and what the virus do is give them opportunity to defer and deflect. And what I mean by that is, if they were to come on stage or to get in front of a microphone and say what their actual agenda was, nobody would take it because it would make them sound like the tyrants that they are. So if they walked up to the mic and said, we'd like to see all firearms removed from the hands of civilians because those firearms challenge our power. Well, again, it would make them look like tyrants because they are, and people would see right through everything that they were trying to do. So these current events simply give them opportunity to defer from their actual agenda to say, it's not me. It's what's happening now. That's the reason that we need to take your firearms. That's the reason that we need to infringe on your Second Amendment rights. It's what's going on at the moment that's making me act the way that I am and making me want to pass the laws that I want to pass and so forth. They've deferred from their actual agenda to current events. And so again, it's all about opportunity, and they never let a good opportunity go to waste. I mean, think about it. When, let's say when an incident happens at a school, it's the same thing. They get up and they get in front of the microphone and they say A, B, or C happened at this school, and this is the reason why we need to remove people's Second Amendment rights or further infringe on people's Second Amendment rights. It's not about their personal agenda. They're innocent in all this. They're just trying to be helpful to the population because of whatever incident happened, and that's going to be their opportunity for the day to try and infringe on your Second Amendment rights. And that's exactly what's happening here. They see a national emergency as a massive opportunity to infringe on people's Second Amendment rights on a huge scale by using that opportunity to defer and deflect from their actual agenda. Again, they can't say that what they actually think openly in public, or people just wouldn't support it. But they think that it's more palatable, it's easier for people to support if they say that they're doing it because of the current event. That's basically what it boils down to. Everything is powered by their personal agenda. They're just smart enough to know that their agenda wouldn't take. So again, they're going to push it on to something else. But here's the thing I want you guys to think about, at least mill this around in your head. If these current events didn't exist right now, okay, if the school incidents didn't happen ever, and let's say, the current event that's happening right now, if that didn't ever happen, do you think that they'd still be coming for your firearms? Do you think that, well, all these incidents never happened, so they would have probably left them alone and we'd be free in all these different states? No. And why is that? Because there's one constant that's still there, and that's the challenge to their power. Regardless if there's any incidents happening across this country that makes it more opportunistic for them, that one still exists. The challenge to their power is still there. The ability to defend the Constitution and our Bill of Rights still exists without any other incident happening across this country. So don't think for a second that if all of these different incidents didn't happen, that they wouldn't still be coming for your firearms, and that's because they would. It's still a challenge to their power. The First Amendment and the Second Amendment go hand in hand. The Second Amendment protects the First Amendment. So we have a right to free speech. We have a right to assemble. We have the right to keep and bear arms. And, you know, honestly, the people that are in charge hate all of those things because they're a challenge to the power that they enjoy. The government of the United States was originally designed to be run by the people. Okay, so you had a government by the people, for the people, and all that. And so the government was supposed to be comprised of its own citizens. But when citizens start becoming elected for decades over and over and over, they get a sense of power and a sense of feeling above everybody else, a sense of a greater purpose, that they forget that they're just one of us. You know, when you look at somebody who's been in office, let's say they've been in the Senate for 40 or 50 years, right? When you see somebody that's been in there for that long, they forgot what it's like to be just an average citizen, because here they are making law, making rules, making regulations, and telling people what they can and can't do, but then themselves don't have to follow by the same rules. They usually write themselves out of having to follow these rules. And so, again, they feel like they are above the average population in that case. And so the government is no longer run by the people. It's run by these elected officials that just simply stay in office for a long time, and there's no term limit on Congress. There's a term limit on presidency, so when you get somebody that's, in the president's desk, a lot of times, they're somebody who's of the people, unless they were in the Senate or the House for decades before that, which a lot of times is the case, right? They've been a politician for so long, they don't know what it's like to be one of the people. And so very rarely do you end up with somebody in office who hasn't been a politician before. And that's kind of where Trump came in. And that was one of the things that people really liked about him, is he came, regardless of whether or not he was wealthy, he still came from the public sector. He came from the public sector, and now he holds the highest office. To me, that's the way that it should be. I think in order to be president or in order to be elected, I think there should be term limits, but I think that you should come from the general population. I think that somebody who's been in the Senate or Congress for 40 years shouldn't then be able to run for president, because you're no longer connected with the people. So again, I know we've kind of gotten off track here and talking about something that's totally irrelevant to the topic, but still, it's kind of why what's happening is what's happening. They want to hold on to that power, so they do kind of mesh together. But again, it has nothing to do with the virus and everything to do with the opportunity. So again, that's why this is happening. For all those people that keep asking why they're going after our firearms when it's just a virus, that's why. It's just the way for them to achieve their agenda. So I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.